Last week, one of my preferred newscasters, if I bother to watch corporate news, is Rachel Maddow. And she did a fairly good speech talking about how it's easier for the right to believe that there are some demonic forces, higher powers, forcing them to wear masks and all that sort of fun stuff, and technically, sort of supposedly ruining their country. But the thing that bothers me about this little speech she gave is that it is so much easier to believe in a higher power, God, the devil, the Jews. I'm sorry, when did Jews become a higher power? I did a Twitter feed, I did a video about it, basically talking about how the world would go nuts if Israel claimed that it was going to take back land that it had won in defensive wars, the way Zelensky is saying that Ukraine will take back Crimea. And in that thread, I had mentioned that because the attempted genocides of Jews has been a repeated thing for thousands of years, Jews have gotten some sort of mythical status in the eyes and minds of other people. Somehow we are above. Meanwhile, you condemn us and give us double standards because you consider us to be above. Somehow we are supposed to be superior people? Bullshit! Jews are just people. And frankly, the idea that somehow Jews are God-blessed, God-chosen, you're not going to hear that from me. My statement when it comes to Jews being in Israel is that Jews have always been in that area. Same as the First Nations were always on North America, but now are forced into little tiny, ugly spaces. The only difference is that the Jews weren't willing to stay in an ugly space. They weren't willing to stay in a choice of malaria-infested swamp or desert. So they worked their asses off. That doesn't make them a higher power. That makes them determined.
Clapper.